Star Wars Episode 5. And the Empire Strikes Back. This movie is one of the pillar points of cinema. Like any movie. This movie has probably been referenced more times over and over again in multiple movies. This movie is probably a pop culture. It is definitely a pop culture thing. Like everybody loves the quote, "I am your father." I reckon that's probably been used in so many movies. And if you haven't heard that movie from this movie, you've probably heard it from Toy Story. No, Buzz, I am your father. No! Poor Buzz. He never knew. But this movie picks up probably a few months after the last movie. The rebels are in hiding. They're hiding out on a fucking cold planet called Hoth, and everybody's a little more. Everybody's in a bit of a different place. Han Solo is probably pretty much the same. But the most character progression throughout the movies is probably Luke. Luke's a little more refined in this one. Luke's a little more force sensitive in this one. He's actually gotten better at using the force. Like in one of the opening scenes, like 17 minutes into the movie, he's like hanging upside down. He's just like and he's trying to reach for the lightsaber, but he can't get to the lightsaber because it's out of reach. And so he focuses his mind, and then reaches for the weapon. Reaches for the lightsaber, and it just slowly and it comes into his hand. It's one of the best moments ever in cinema. Like that. That is just. It is like it's like groundbreaking. Apologies. Well, I wouldn't say groundbreaking, but it's definitely one of the best moments in this movie. Alright, let's talk about the characters for a second. Darth Vader. Woo! What a badass. In this movie, Vader is no... there are no chains on Vader's back. He's like... There's no Grand Moff Tarkin to fuck me with this shit. Somebody disappoints me, I'ma fucking choke you out until you're dead. You stop, I stop. When you die. That is my goal. Okay, he's not that sinister, but damn, he's good. Oh man, one of the first things you see him do, one of the first things you see Darth Vader do is just like this guy drops to the ground. It's like, and it's just like, you have failed me for the last time, Admiral. And then he just looks at his guy and he's just like, you're in charge. And then he just keeps walking. Ooh, man. Vader is so great. Vader is one of the best movie villains ever. Like if you ever think of a movie villain, you probably think of a grand total of maybe 3. But Darth Vader is definitely on that list. For me, on that list, Darth Vader, Hans Gruber, Lord Voldemort. Those are the 3 villains that I will think of. Like somebody turns around and says movie villain right away, I'll probably say Darth Vader. He's just that iconic. He's just that great, and his suit looks so much better in this one. In the last one, because of budgetary requirements or budgetary limitations, they couldn't make his suit as good as they had in this one. It still looked great, but in this one it looks better. The mask is a little smaller. The mask is a little smaller. The eyes are just pure black. And then the cape the cape thingo that was over his armor is now under his armor, and it looks better. It looks so much better in this one, and it is beautiful. One of the best moments with Darth Vader in this movie. Like, I'll talk about the best moment, but one of the best moments with Darth Vader in this movie. He's just sitting. He's like sitting in his little cubicle thing, and his lieutenant, like one of the guys, walks in, and like his helmet just drops onto his head, and you can see the back of his head. It's all scarred and shit like that. And that dude is just like, dude is damaged. He like needs that shit. Like, he doesn't just wear that for holiday attire. No, he wears that because he needs to wear that, which is awesome. Like that just gives depth to his character. Like if you're an original fan, like you start with you start with Star Wars. You start with Star Wars Episode Empire Strikes Back, and then Return of the Jedi. Like you have like the best cinematic experience, one of the best cinematic experiences just there. You start off not knowing much about Vader, knowing a little more about Vader, and then having your mind fucking blown by Vader, and then just finishing off where it should finish off. I'm really hoping that the Rise of Skywalker just actually gives purpose for everything, for like it all. I don't know what I'm expecting from that movie, but I'm hoping for something good. I'm hoping for something that's actually worth all this anticipation. I know we all are. Anyway, the other characters in this movie, we'll talk briefly about Han and Leia. Those two are like the best couple in like Star Wars history, like movie history. Like, I don't know about the lore, the books and shit like that. They could be better. But from what I know, from what I've seen, Han and Leia, best romance in the entire series. Those two are just so gorgeous together. They're so good. And it's so pure because like Han's like a hothead, and he's just like, and like when he's going down into the molten steel. Wait, that's a different movie. Same thing though. And he's going down, and like Leia's just like, I love you, and he's like, I know. Dude's awesome, and like that's actually an improvised line. Harrison Ford read the script and he's like, that is not what Han Solo would say. And it was like, I'm going with I know. And the director was like, yeah, okay. Like, it worked for the scene. Like, you can keep it, whatever. Lando. I fucking love Lando. Who doesn't love Lando? Who doesn't love fucking Billy D, who just walks into the scene? He just walks up to Han and he's just like, you son of a bitch. What the fuck are you doing back here? And then he just fucking hugs him. He was like, oh, what the hell are you doing here, man? What have you done to my ship? You fucked up my ship again? You fuck. Lando Calrissian is just one of the best characters ever, and it has one of the best moments ever. And they're like walking down the hallways, and it's just like, and they're talking. And it's just like, well, we just cut a deal that will keep the Empire out of this place. And then it just opens up the door, and then you just see Darth Vader just rise, and he's just like, we would be honored if you would join us this evening. And then Han is just like, yeah, and then Vader's just like, and it's just it looks like it's hitting his hand, and he's just like, yeah. And then he forces the gun out of his hand, and he's like, please join us. And literally, only thing he has those hostages for is to torture them. Is just to torture them, because he knows that Luke is going to see that in his mind, in his vision, and he's going to be like, I need to help my friends. I need to go to Cloud City to help my friends right fucking now. And he does. He fucking does. Like, throughout this movie, Luke is training with Yoda, and that is like my favorite moment with Luke and Yoda is the scene where the things in the ship is sinking, and Luke is just like, and he can't do it, and then he's just like, I just can't do it, it's too big, and then Yoda's just like, judge me by my size, do you? And, he just lifts the whole thing up, drops it, puts it down on the ground safely, and it's like, it was piss easy for me, and if I can do that, so can you. And it's like some of the best moments in this movie actually come from Yoda and Vader. These two characters are probably what elevates this movie so much. Vader gives it a very sinister, dark twist to it, while Yoda is like that sort of light-hearted dick teacher, where it's like, no, you will get it if you get it. There's no point in doubting yourself. If you're gonna doubt yourself, there's no point. Like, what are you even doing here? I fucking, you just love Yoda. And the best part about Yoda is he doesn't use a fucking lightsaber. He just turns around and says, I will use this and never use anything else. It's all I need. But in the prequels, it's like, yeah, well, fuck that. Anyway, but the best moment that happens from that training sequence, from any training sequence, like the entire training sequence as a whole, is where Darth Vader, Luke goes into that little area, and Yoda's just like, do not take your weapons, you will not need them. And he takes and he just walks in there and he takes his weapons anyway, and he walks in. And then he sees a fake Vader. Fake Vader just walks out and is like, and Luke instantly fails, strikes his lightsaber, expecting a fight. It's like, you killed Ben Kenobi, fuck ya. And apparently, from what I know, you killed my father. And then obviously he completely fails it, and it's just like, dude. And then when he goes to Cloud City, and Yoda and Ben Kenobi are like, dude, stop, no, you're gonna fuck it up, you're gonna get caught, you're gonna turn to the dark side, and then we're left with nothing. And then Luke's just like, nah, I gotta go, I gotta help my friends, can't help you, man, gotta go. And it's just, dude's reckless. Dude is just completely reckless. If Batman was in this movie, he'd fucking restrain him, lock him up in a cell, and be like, "You're too reckless. I'ma deal with it." But when Luke and Vader are thrown down, it's like the best fight ever, because it's not really a fight. Not for Vader. Vader is just like one hand blocking him and then tossing him back. If Luke was any sort of a threat to Vader, he would be like, but no, he's just like, and he's barely motioning. He's just like, yep, you're a fucking punk. I can just destroy you at any moment. And when he throws him down, when Vader throws him down into the thing, I can't remember the carbonite is the word. He throws him down into the carbonite, and then Vader's just like, oh, too easy. And then Luke jumps up out of it before he can do anything, and then Vader just looks up and he's like, the fuck? Impressive. Most impressive. Like, the dude is awesome, but at a point, Vader is just like, I'm done. I'm not messing around. And he's swinging. He's breathing hard. He's like, I'm gonna fuck you up. I'm gonna cut something off. And boom, cuts off his hand. And Luke's just trying to crawl away. And then Vader is just like, Luke, we can destroy the Emperor. We can bring balance to the Force, and then we can rule the galaxy as father and son. He doesn't say that at first, but that's probably one of the best scenes, because it's like, you are just straight up conning him right now, because you obviously you are not brave enough to go up against the Emperor. Otherwise, you would have done it ages ago. And then Luke's just all angry. He's just like, you killed my father. And then Darth Vader is just like, no, Luke, I am your father. And everybody's head in the audience, back in whatever this movie came out, even Harrison Ford didn't even see that coming. Harrison Ford was apparently watching this right next to Mark Hamill, and he was like, and he just turns to Mark Hamill, and he's like, you didn't fucking tell me that. It's such a great moment. It just proves that it's such a great moment if Harrison Ford himself is like, huh? But this movie is one of the best movies ever that has ever been made. Definitely the best Star Wars movie in my opinion. I fucking love this movie. This movie is absolutely worth watching with every ounce of your attention. Now, if you like what you see here and you want to see more, please click the subscribe button and leave a comment below. What's your favorite Star Wars movie? What's your favorite Star Wars movie moment? Comment below.